What's going on, everyone? Ice Moon here today to finally give my opinion on patch 3 for NBA 2K16. Now, this is actually going to focus on the park and my career. So, just sit back, grab some snacks, and just enjoy the soothing sound of my voice. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're liking what I'm bringing you guys. Like the video and let me know what you guys are thinking about patch 3. Now, patch 3 has been out for quite some time on PS4 and it just recently got it added to Xbox One about a week ago and PC about a week ago. So now we're fully being able to see what's been going on with this patch. And just out of curiosity, I was looking to see what other YouTube videos what they've been saying about, patch 3, and they're talking about like it was trash. It was garbage. You couldn't hit shots. You couldn't. The moving screens were ridiculous. You can't. The 3 seconds. It was all bad. So but now that I've had about a few days with the patch plan on the park, think I'm finally ready to give y'all my opinion. So the gameplay that you just seen in the background right now, it's one game of my point guard and one game of my center, and this is what this video is going to be focusing on. I'm just trying to tell you what my opinions of the patch are and how I think they affect both positions. And we're just going to start this off right now. Well, okay, let me first give a general, kind of like my general feel of this patch. In my opinion, patch 3 in MyPark mostly affects the big men, people who play twos, and more like big men who only play twos. I'm gonna get into that. You're gonna see what I mean by that as we progress through this video. So I'm just gonna start with my point guard. He's a 5'7" point guard, small, but he's got maxed out shooting, maxed out defense, maxed out everything. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever played as well as I have with him than with patch 3. I've been hitting I've been hitting like all of my shots. People saying they can't hit shots no more. I'm still hitting shots, and I'm even getting green releases from 3. And I never got green releases from 3 in the previous 2 patches, and I'm still getting, green releases from mid range like I usually do, but not as many. So in the notes, like I have the notes up here right now, and I believe they did say that they did tone down the mid range, but I don't think it's like they didn't break the mid range. They toned it down just a touch. Basically, it's not every time you get green release every time you shoot the mid range, which for I'd play twos, either with my point guard or my center, it was just so annoying because the people would just spam the mid range, and it was like there's nothing you can do. It felt like because they were gonna hit it. But yeah, I'm hitting my threes. I don't really people. I think this patch affects. Well, this patch affects things that how I don't really play the game. Like I'm not the one who's doing a bunch of dribble moves, holding the ball forever, trying to, zigzag, cheese around, trying to get my shots. No, I play point. I will do some moves to try and create a shot if I need to. But if you see me play, or if you've played with me on the park, I'm trying to get you guys shots. I'm trying to get you guys open, and that's how I play the game. So that patch, in all honesty, in that regard, it really doesn't affect me. And then the fact that I'm hitting more shots too, and I'm getting more steals, which to be honest, that's a flaw with patch 3. I've been noticing this a lot. Like you getting the ball stolen way too much. Like you run into somebody. Like NBA players have more awareness than they'll just get the ball stolen every time they touch somebody, and that's what it feels like it is in 2K. If you touch someone, that ball is stolen and it going the other way. But honestly, for me, because I have such a high steal, it's kind of like, is it taking advantage of the cheese or of the game? Is it cheesing? I'm not going for steals, but if I see an opportunity to get a steal, I'm gonna go for it, and knowing that I'm gonna have a higher percentage of getting that steal because of that. So I'm loving playing with my little point guard right now. He's killing it out there. I'm winning games, getting good stats, and we almost at All Star 2. I don't know how y'all grinding the Legend 1, Legend 5. Like, it's taking me so many games just to get the All Star 2. It's almost like you don't even really want to play it no more. But yeah, that's that. I'm thinking. Let me go over these notes once more. I'm thinking that's really it for my point guard because this isn't really affecting point guards too much because it cuts down on the cheese, right? People can't, do those zigzag moves, do those cheesy dribble moves. They cut down on the dribble, like ankle breaker animations. They cut down on that too, and it's making for more realistic basketball in the park, which I want real. I don't necessarily want like straight up NBA rules in the park, but I don't want cheese in the park as well. So I like that they're trying to make it actual basketball. But yeah, man, the point guard. I haven't had any issues with my point guard hitting shots, nothing like that. So in terms of patch 3 for the point guard, we all good. Now let's get into what I believe is the kind of where this patch was made for this specifically, and that's these big men. I'm watching videos on YouTube about all these people complaining about how all the big men do is just set picks in the screens in the paint, the quote unquote holding their nuts in the paint. That's all they do, right? They don't get involved in the offense. They just set screens, grab rebounds, and let the point guard do all the work. And for me, when I run my big man, I try and run it as true to basketball as I possibly can. And what that means is, you can set screens in the game of basketball. Like people set screens. Big men, they're out there to set screens. Like I never had an issue with, all the screen setting. It was the fact that the way it was done, I guess how people were doing it in 2K, it was kind of cheesy. They were taking advantage of it. But if you're setting screens with the general purpose to get somebody open, yes, I'm cool with that. Which is probably why I run a lot more threes than twos. Like threes, like twos it gets real cheesy when you go 2-on-2. So that's why I stick with threes. And to combat that, they did add, moving screen violation, which when I'm running with my big man, I actually really haven't had any moving screen violations. Like I've had a couple, but if I'm like I said, really take my time and set the screen right, and I haven't really had the issues, and I'm still knocking people down because I guess in patch 1 and 2 there was really no punishment. You can just set screens any way you want. You running, moving screens weren't getting called, and now they added that. So. And then on top of the moving screens, they added 3 in the key to like people for all the big men that just sat in the paint all the time. And I guess I'm not a big fan of that 3 in the key stuff. In a park, whenever I'm going up playing pickup basketball, we don't call 3 in the key. No one calls moving screens really. But that's one of the things I don't like. Does it break the game? No. But does it kind of take away from a lot? Yeah, it takes away from the feel of playing like a park style basketball game. So I'm not the biggest fan of the 3 in the key, but I understand why they did it. I just don't think they did it in the right way. Like there had to be another way to do it than just simply 3 in the key. So yeah, this patch 3 really, people were complaining about the big men and how overpowered they were, and this was a way to try and nerf them down. And if I had to give like an overall kind of estimate, first of all, let me just make sure I didn't miss any important points from this I wanted to talk about, because I think those are really the major things I wanted to discuss. Oh, also having there's like an offensive rebound thing to whereas if you block the shot and the ball went back, they would get the offensive rebound. You get punished for that. They took that out. I'm so glad that happened because that happened to me so many times. It got really annoying. And I think, yeah, I'm thinking that's about it with these patches for the park. So for my kind of overall assessment, do I think that patch 3 ruined the park? Absolutely not. Honestly, it's a cool way because it's gonna separate those people who are actually like legitimate ballers and who legitimately play the game the right way versus the people who thought they were good because they can take advantage of some cheese. And now like there's people out there who are complaining this is trash, this is trash. No, this isn't trash. You just have to play the game the right way. And if you aren't capable of doing that, you're just not good enough. That's what I'm thinking this patch really did. But I think they did do some things wrong. Like I really wish they didn't add the 3 in the key. I really wish they didn't add the moving screen because it slows the game down too much. Yeah, Park is already fast paced as it is, but you get in a rhythm. A lot of these games you get in a rhythm in the way the game like flows between possessions, and with those 3 in the key, it just slows. I don't like it. It just slows the pace of the game down too much for me, and I really wish they would have found another way than just simply tack on 3 on the key, 3 in the key. And honestly, I'm making more 3-pointers than I ever have in the park, and so many other people are, which is a problem because I have seen there is an issue now where people are just making an insane amount of threes, an insane amount of ridiculously contested threes and leaning threes and fading threes and threes that have no business going in the basket, but they go in anyway. So honestly, if 2K were to nerf the mid range, fine, but I mean, I'd rather you green light us with the mid range than people hitting a ridiculous amount of impossible threes. So that's really it, my opinion on patch 3 for MyPark. Not bad. The game isn't broken. Park to me is still playable. No, I'm not gonna go out and rebuy 2K15 just so I can play, that patch 4. Everybody hit everything out. We all know the story about patch 4. But I mean, it's just gonna be it's a nice little challenge to you to figure out how to play real basketball, and that's why I'm not having a problem with either my point guard or my center. So that wraps it up for the park. I do want to touch on a couple things for this patch in my career. Um, actually, before I do that, they really need to fix the way the score counter is in this patch. Like, I hate that score delay when you score versus when it gets on the scoreboard is really annoying. It maybe it's just me being a little OCD, but it is really annoying. I wish they would just have kept it the way that it used to be. But now back on to my career. Stealing in this game in my career, I really wish they didn't touch the game. It feels like they touched the gameplay in my career because it feels so different. Like I wish they didn't touch this gameplay because yeah, they can fix it online because you got other people playing and take out the cheese. But if you're playing solo my career, yeah, you should be able to have fun. You can cheese a little bit offline. You can have fun. That's what the game is for. You don't have to play the game proper all the time, especially offline. Just do whatever you want. And I miss like they dumbed down the steals so much. And if I really wish if I would have really known this, I would have worked to get all these fast badges I can get in fast break. Like transition finisher and acrobat before this patch. And it is crazy. And then the issue still is how you turn the ball over by basically dribbling and running into somebody, and that turns over the ball. So I'm not the biggest fan of what they did to my career. It's still playable. It's still fun, but to me it's not as fun as it was in the original game and for both patch 1 and patch 2. Guys, that is it. I want to know what you guys think about patch 3 for MyPark, my career, or just the patch in general. Like I said, to sum it all up, the patch in my career or in MyPark, I don't think it broke the game. I don't notice too much of a difference in gameplay. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the offensive 3 in the key. Not the biggest fan of the moving screens, but I'll work around it. I'll play the game the right way and set my screens, better. I'm not going to be out here complaining, I'm boycotting 2K. This game is trash. I'm not, it's none of that. I do wish that they would put in the Jordan Rec Center back because I miss playing that I miss playing the Jordan Rec Center, so leave it at that. But, yeah, I heard that they're not bringing it back because, like, they don't want that mode to be strictly about repping up. But Pro-Am to me is a waste of time. So, guys, that's it. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I will be bringing you some more gameplay. I'll probably talk about my opinions of, the patch in regards to playing on now online when I play my first game back. So, guys, that's it. If this video is still going on as I'm talking, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and see you next video. Peace.